Good morning, graduates. That was really loud. And welcome to a day that you, your family, and friends have been highly anticipating, your graduation from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Woo! I am Dr. Mitty Nemux-Denherter, the Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and on behalf of those seated on stage, the faculty and staff seated in front of you, and the entire university, welcome to today's ceremony. Now, would you please stand, remove your hats for the singing of the National Anthem, led today by graduating student Alexandria Panzica.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Graduates, today you become part of another special family, that being the University of Wisconsin-Platteville alumni. This is the 195th commencement ceremony at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, where more than 55,000 graduates have earned their diplomas. You are also graduating at a very special time as we celebrate the 150th anniversary of the university, which began in 1866. You will carry on the rich history that is the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. So congratulations to all of our candidates here today. This morning, we honor graduates in the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, as well as our graduate studies students. Later today, we will salute graduates of the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science and the College of Liberal Arts and Education. In all, we have 600 undergraduates and 107 graduate candidates in the two ceremonies. So a little bit about today's ceremony. We will hear words of encouragement and congratulations from our student speaker, commencement speaker, and finally from our chancellor. We will also recognize some special people and then present the candidates for graduation. Each commencement, a student speaker is chosen to represent you, the graduating seniors. And this year's speaker is a graduate in agricultural business with minors in Spanish and animal science. She works on campus as an event registration coordinator and also works as a farm assistant at HD Farms. She is graduating in only 3.5 years of study with an impressive 3.5 GPA. This student exemplifies the value of hard work and has excelled in her time at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. So please help me in welcoming Ariel Hillenbrand.
Congratulations, pioneers. We made it. Almost. Just a few more speeches to go, and we'll be set free as college graduates. Regardless of the direction we go from here, rest assured you are prepared. Our choice to attend UW-Platteville was a good one. Our experiences here have equipped us to start tackling challenges we care about, contribute to important causes, and most importantly, be the change we want to see in the world. As we all know, the world isn't exactly a friendly place right now, and as we look to the immediate future, we may not feel prepared, perhaps only unsure of what it holds and what we are capable of. But think back to your first day on campus. Were you nervous, excited, scared? Sounds pretty similar to our feelings today. But why are we nervous? We figured out by now that failure isn't the end of the world, and that learning takes time. Learning over the past few years has come in many forms, and has taught us that education must be an ongoing event. Thinking back to our post-high school graduation selves, fairly certain the only education we'd be receiving was in a lecture hall or a classroom. Since then, we have learned the importance of advocating for ourselves, we learned the importance of great friends, and we learned about the importance of perseverance and communication. We've learned that hard work really does pay off. We also came to understand that learning happens all over campus, and often in the form of firsts. The first time sleeping through an alarm and missing class, our first failed exam, first time locking yourself out of your dorm room, your first trip up the M, which may or may not have made you question your athleticism, and the inevitable first wipeout. We've all either been a witness or a victim of these wipeouts, whether in the form of a crack in the sidewalk, an invisible stare, or my personal favorite, ice. If you were lucky, nobody was around when you face-planted in the middle of campus. If you weren't so lucky, like me, you may have been the source of entertainment for a fellow group of pioneers for a few minutes. Regardless of the location, time, or method, this first wipeout taught us a few things. First, to take everything that comes our way in stride. Life is much too short to dwell upon our mistakes and mishaps. Second, it's important to be able to laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously. Nobody else does. And lastly, that we're all still human. Everyone has seen or experienced the pain, literal or figurative, of these wipeouts, and that brings understanding that no matter who we are or where we're from, we're all still capable of both the fall and the recovery. This human similarity is something we can and should carry with us moving forward. But that's not to say we don't have our differences, and UW-Platteville has helped us distinguish and embrace these differences. Like most of you, I've heard the phrase, life isn't about the destination, it's about the journey, many times throughout my college years. Second only to, it's a great day to be a pioneer. I know I can proudly say that the portion of my journey spent at UW-Platteville will be remembered fondly. The countless hours spent with strangers who turned into best friends, learning about the things we were truly passionate about and interested in, the good decisions, the bad decisions, even the late nights spent trying to study in Carmen Library. But more than that, we can look back upon our experiences here because they were truly, uniquely ours. College was our opportunity to build the best version of ourselves that we possibly could, exactly how we wanted to. So moving forward, I challenge you to build upon the person you are, the person you've become during your time at UW-Platteville. Today, as we celebrate and reflect upon our time spent here, also be thankful. Be thankful for the professors who cultivated our thoughts, the peers who surround you today, and the individuals who encouraged you to become who you really are. Ralph Waldo Emerson's words are incredibly appropriate as we leave our Platteville homes and take the next step. What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. Congratulations and best of luck to all of you, University of Wisconsin-Platteville, College of BILSA graduating class. I hope our paths cross again. Thank you.
Many of you may be wondering what the different colored stoles and cords are around many of our graduates. Our international students wear white flag stoles featuring the United States flag and the flag of their home country. University of Wisconsin-Platteville students who have studied abroad wear stoles featuring the flag of the country where they studied. Clubs, organizations, and honor societies have bestowed different colored stoles and pins on their graduates, representing extracurricular and high-impact practice learning that went along with their classroom experiences. At this time, I call special attention to those who are wearing gold honor cords this morning. The undergraduate students graduating with academic honors are also designated with asterisks in the commencement program. So at this time, I will ask all of those graduates who have achieved honors and are graduating magna cum laude to please rise. These students have earned cumulative grade point averages above a 3.5, so congratulations to our magna cum laude graduates. And now you may be seated. Now will those students earning the highest honors and who are graduating summa cum laude please stand. These students have earned cumulative grade point averages of between a 3.75 and a perfect 4.0. So please join me in congratulating the summa cum laude graduates. I think they all deserve 2 rounds of applause. Congratulations, and you may be seated. Today's principal speaker graduated magna cum laude with an accounting degree in 1981. He became the chairman and chief executive officer of Barker, Tilley, Virchow Krause, a public accounting firm, and he now serves the board of directors for several Chicago civic and economic development groups, as well as the Lyric Opera of Chicago. He is also the chairman of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Throughout his impressive career, he has maintained a focus on education, and he has established the Christian Family Scholarship for incoming freshmen or continuing students. So in appreciation, please help me welcome Timothy Christian.
Thank you, Provost, for those kind words. I appreciate it very much. Baker Tilley, by the way. It's really nice to be here today. I know I'm one of the short pieces of program between you and actually getting the diploma, so I want you to know that the graduates, this Chancellor has warned me if I go over my time, he'll bring out the taser, and I will feel it from behind and go down in a heap. I thought Ariel's remarks were really great, and I just want to say really nice job to her as you prepare for your future and what you have to look forward to. And I think the journey is something that is really, really important. I'm going to talk just a little bit about that. But there's nothing wrong with a really nice destination, too. So we'll talk about maybe keeping that in mind as we go. So you're going to get your diploma shortly, and the last thing I'm going to say before I kick into a few remarks is I've been assured that most of them are signed. So you guys have got a good shot. The odds are heavily in your favor, right? Okay, so when you leave here, where will you go? Is the question. And what I want to talk about is leaving the foundation you've built here at UW-Platteville and not limiting yourself in terms of there might be. Because the idea that I found in life and people I attended Platteville with and graduated from Platteville with have found in life is that from here you really can't go anywhere. And so the next step, I think, for you as graduates is figuring out where there is. Where is that there that you'd like to pursue, that spot that you'd like to get to in life? And don't limit yourself on that. And I'll give you a few ideas on how maybe you can think about that as you figure out what your best there is. Because, there's a saying out there, hope is not a strategy. And if you want to get the result that you're really looking for the rest of your life, the way to do it is to make the moves that tend to lead you in that direction. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And I know some of you may be thinking if you had If you had seen my grades, you wouldn't say I was building on a strong foundation here at UW-Platteville. But the reality is, when you finish today, and I'm speaking really to the undergraduates now, when you finish today, it's like finishing the regular season of a sports season and qualifying for the playoffs. And now you're into the postseason. You're into the next era, and it's a whole new time. So for the students who are the people who stood with the honors and have done the work, keep doing the work. It's very, very impressive, and that'll carry you all the way through your life. And for the people who, maybe didn't do everything they wanted to do during their academic career and are now moving forward, this is no time to give up. This is a time to double down, and really anything can happen going forward. And you've got some advantages in terms of coming to a state school like the University of Wisconsin at Platteville, and I have always felt blessed to have grown up in southwestern Wisconsin and graduating from this university. I've been in an environment in the public accounting world, and we moved the headquarters of our firm from Madison, Wisconsin to Chicago in 2009, so I've spent most of my business time since then. And I've been surrounded by people who went to schools like Notre Dame or Duke or a school like that. And there's a certain sense of entitlement that I always felt coming off of students from schools like that, or for more urban environments, kids from New York or Washington, D.C., wherever it may be. And they have a tendency to look down their nose a little bit at kids who come from places like Belmont, Wisconsin, which is where I grew up. And I found that to be a tremendous advantage, because I would look at those people who were my competitors or my peers, and I would feel like, I'm going to outwork you, I'm going to outcompete you, I'm going to outthink you, and I'm going to outperform you. And for me, that's how it worked out. And I think it could work out for you too. There's a tremendous opportunity out there in the, just the reality that you get from a place like southwestern Wisconsin is entirely different and beyond what I think you can get from other places. When I was a kid, my dad owned a gas station in Belmont, Wisconsin, so the building is still there. It's not open as a station anymore, but it kind of tripled as the local, it was gasoline station / service center, but it was also sort of a youth center and kind of the local casino for the kids also. And the education that I got being in that gas station was a big hangout for UW-Platteville football players. And those were the glory days of Chris Charnish and UWP playing for the national championship in those days. And so the football players would hang out there and talk about what they were doing. And I'd be a grade school kid just listening to them. And the beauty of that small town environment, or the rural environment that we're in southwestern Wisconsin, is you got a way of learning common sense and humility that will stick with you for your entire life. You don't get ahead of yourself, because there are people in an area like this who knock you back into your spot. So you want to come out of here just realizing you have a big advantage. And don't ever think anybody's ahead of you, because they are not. You're ahead of them. As you pick where you're going to go, I would like to just focus on just 3 things for you to think about. I want to talk about passion, culture, and relevance. Those 3 things: passion, culture, and relevance. Because wherever you decide there is, when you say, I can get there from here, you don't have to pick there right away. You've got time to pick there. But you might as well start in the right direction. And so if you're going to start in the right direction, I want you to think about those 3 things. So passion is the first one. Passion means finding work that you love, something you're really interested in doing, where you get up and go to work every day and you feel like, hey, I'm making a difference. I can help this client, this business, this company, this government, whatever it is that you're working for, this university. I can make a difference here. I'm excited to go to work, and yeah, I'm getting a paycheck, and I'm really glad for that, but I'd almost do it if I wasn't getting a paycheck. And if you find yourself in a career where you don't feel that passion, do something different. Do something different. Go back to school, get an advanced degree, find a different pathway, but don't just stay with it. You're going to work for 50 years. I know that doesn't sound good, but you're going to work for 50 years. So find something you like to do. So find your passion first, and if you find passion, you will be good at it. Whatever you do, you'll be good at it if you find passion. Second is culture. Don't underestimate the importance of culture in an organization. Companies are just like people. They have personalities. Some are cool and funny, some are brainy, some are really stiff, most are honest, some are not. Some are aggressive, some are, more passive. Find a culture of a company that fits your own personality. Find a place where you feel comfortable and you feel at home. And again, if you don't feel that way, if you're in a company and you don't feel like, hey, this company suits me, this company or this school or this government or this business, whatever it is, it doesn't suit you, find a different one. And same thing, it's a long life. And you become what the company is over time. You have to become what the company is if you want to succeed. And so find the company that fits you and what you want to be. So think about passion, think about culture, and finally think about relevance. When you choose a career or a place to work, not everybody's going to be successful. Not every company is going to succeed, and not every industry is going to be here. For instance, if I was starting today, I probably wouldn't pick owning a taxi cab company as something I'd want to do in the future, because maybe you've heard of Uber. There aren't going to be taxi companies the way they exist today. So you can look at the world and figure out what industries will be successful. It's not that hard. People say all the time you can't predict the future. The reality is there's a lot of the future that you can predict. It's late fall right now. Winter's coming next. You know what? After that, it'll be spring. In 2025, the 4th of July, Independence Day will be Independence Day. You can predict the future. There are hard trends that are going to happen. So what's happening? The population is getting older. Technology is getting faster and smaller. Globalization is real. Those are examples of trends that are irrefutable. They're going to shape the future of the world, and they affect whether companies will succeed or not. So as you're picking an employer, as you're picking a place to work, as you're picking a career, think about that and ski downhill. Pick a company that's going to be successful in the future, and your path will be much easier. So if you just think in those terms of passion for what I do, culture of an organization that I can love, and relevance of that business in terms of will it be successful, those are all like indicators for you. Don't worry if you get it right the first time. Don't be afraid to take chances. I took a path, and when you get to, I'm closer to the end of the line. When you get close to the end of the line, everybody's like, yeah, you must have went to Platteville and had this straight line, became the CEO of what was formerly known as Barker Tilley, but now we're calling it Baker Tilley. And you become the CEO of this firm, and you must have gone straight there. Well, that's not how it worked for me. I grew up in Belmont. I didn't even know if I was going to go to college or not, to be honest. And if I hadn't been offered a $50 scholarship to be a mining engineer here at Platteville, I might not have. I'm not kidding about it. $50 scholarship. I might as well go. So I came here to school, and I took mining engineering. I was terrible at it. I was terrible. I couldn't draft to save my life, and plus my brother was still in school, so I spent most of my time in the student center, either drinking beer, playing pool, or playing cards. And after a semester, the university suggested I might want to take a break from school. So I did. I took a break, and I went to work for the FBI in Washington, D.C. as a fingerprint examiner at the FBI in Washington, D.C., and I was good at it. But you know what? The federal government doesn't care if you're good at things. They have rules on how they want them done. They are anti-innovation. I hated it. So one Friday night, I was with another guy from Belmont. One Friday night, we just packed up our stuff and moved home. We left Washington, D.C. We drove back. I never paid another rent check. I don't think I can go back there. And I probably can't run for president because we didn't even tell the FBI that we quit. They had to run us down. And we came back here, and I thought, well, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to try something else. And luckily, I met the guy on the stage back here, Steve Becker, who was the head of the accounting department at the time. And I thought, well, if this guy can do it, anybody can. And so I took accounting and know what I was good at. And I found this company. I was going to go to work for Price Waterhouse because it was this big firm, and they're the biggest, coolest firm in the world. I thought, I'm going to be that guy. I want to be Price Waterhouse guy. But while I was in school, I started with Veraclaw, which is now Baker Tilly. And I just love the culture. It's the culture point. It fit me. It was an entrepreneurial place that empowered you as an individual. And I thought, this place fits me like a glove. I'm staying here. And I did. And it's worked out pretty good. I left once more and went to a client for a couple of years. I was the CFO. I was terrible at that, too. but I'm good at what I do now. And because I, didn't give up in terms of finding the right path, it worked out well, and it can for you too. So I just want to encourage you. I think you have the foundation for the absolute, best start on earth. You're part of the biggest generation in history, so it's going to be a really exciting time for you. So just one thing, and then a couple of remarks in closing, and I'll be well within my time. If you think about what it's like to be a millennial, I mentioned the generation, which you're the generation larger than the baby boomers, 44% minorities in the millennial population. You have employers today scared to death. They spend all their time talking about you. How are we going to handle this younger generation? They don't know how to work like we did, all kinds of crap, frankly. The reality is I feel that, you're about halfway through the generation. We have a lot of millennials who work for us. You will be 75% of the workforce by 2025. And you've got, I think, a big advantage coming in. And I think companies are ready for you when you come there. They've realized that you as a group of young people, you just want to be inspired. You want to know what the company does. You want to be involved. But you're ready to work, and I think they know that. But here's my tip. If you want to be really successful really quickly, be a throwback millennial. Be that person who shows up. Be that southwestern Wisconsin person who wants to go in there and make their boss and the company look good. If you do that, you will be extremely successful. It is not rocket science. There's no business other than rocket science in this country that is rocket science. If you go in there and you show up and you say, yeah, I want to know what's going on. I want to be communicated with. I want a work-life integration type schedule. I want all the things we talk about. I want to be able to communicate with and how I want. But I'm willing to be part of the solution because I know we're here to do something. You'll be really successful, and that is extremely actionable. No matter who you are, having a great attitude, there's no one who can't do that. And as someone who has employed a lot of people, I can tell you that is the number one thing. Number one, not who's the smartest, not who can come up with the new formula to Coke. We can get the formula to Coke. Who shows up and has a great attitude. And so if you do that, you'll be really successful. So I hope you find something you really love in terms of where you go. Think about the future. Think carefully. As Gretzky says, skate where the puck is going. But once you decide, take the action, shape your own future. And from here, get where you want to go. So good luck. Viva Pioneers.
Okay, I am the provost. I can read. It was Baker Tilly. Okay. I was really interested. Thank you, Tim, for that wonderful message. In your prediction about relevance, you said there weren't going to be taxes in the future? Taxis. Okay, got it. At each December commencement, the Alumni Association presents the Outstanding Alumni Award to persons who have graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville with their undergraduate degree within the past 15 years. Today, we are honoring 2 outstanding alumni. I will ask them to stand and come to the front of the stage, but please hold your applause until both are recognized. So Matthew, would you please come forward? Both of you. Okay. Matthew Lars graduated from University of Wisconsin-Platteville in 2006 with a degree in animal science. He is the Senior Vice President Director of Agricultural Banking at Town Bank in Heartland, Wisconsin. He also plays an active role in his family-operated milk hauling business that caters to southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. He was the recipient of the American FFA degree, and he volunteers in many organizations. He was an AGRA ambassador and student assistant for the Agriculture Student Coordinator. He has hired many University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduates and will be guest speaking in several classes on campus. Matthew Lars. Captain Matthew Haller graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville with a biology degree in 2005. He is currently pursuing a master's degree in environmental planning and management. From 2013 to 14, he served as a Stryker Cavalry Troop Commander in the 3rd Cavalry Regiment in Fort Hood, Texas, with a worldwide deployment mission. From 2014 to 15, he served as a Headquarters Troop Commander of 232 soldiers deployed in support of the multinational force and observers in Egypt. He currently serves as a General Officer's Aide at the Mission Command Center of Excellence at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. He is a 2-time recipient of the Draper Leadership Award and was twice awarded the Bronze Star for service during combat operations. Captain Matthew Haller. Congratulations to both our alumni. Each year, Alliant Energy presents the Undercoupler Award to an outstanding educator in the University of Wisconsin system. We are fortunate to have this year's recipient join us today. At this time, I would ask Dr. Annie Kinwa Muzinga to join me at the podium. Dr. Kinwa Muzinga is a professor of agribusiness in the University of Wisconsin-Platteville School of Agriculture. She joined the university in January of 2002 and has been the agribusiness program director since fall of 2009. In addition to teaching, she advises students who participate in the Pioneer Undergraduate Research Program in agribusiness and supervises independent study. She is currently the faculty advisor for the Pioneer Chapter of the National Agricultural Marketing Association. Dr. Kinwa Muzinga gives her students global perspectives by organizing every 2 years credit-bearing short-term study abroad programs to Ghana, Africa. She has won numerous awards over her outstanding career, and you may have read on the University of Wisconsin-Platteville website or news accounts that she just started a new farm in Ghana. In Congo. I just read what's in front of me. In Congo. Dr. Kinwa Muzinga, your teaching, your advising, and your work outside the classroom makes you a role model. And I thank you and present you with this Undercoupler Award for Excellence in Education. It's a very special award. Only very special people can see it. I now ask that Melissa Gavin, President of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, come forward to present the Alumni Lifetime Memberships.
Chancellor Shields, Provost, University Deans, faculty and staff, friends, and guests of today's graduates. On behalf of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, it is my pleasure and honor to congratulate the December 2015 commencement class. You have now become part of a history and tradition of our university. I encourage you to stay connected to UW-Platteville after graduation and seek out opportunities to stay connected. Volunteer to serve on your college alumni chapter board, plan to attend alumni events in your area, or come back to campus for career fairs, homecoming, and other alumni activities. Stay connected through social media by liking our Facebook page or joining our LinkedIn groups. There are many ways to stay connected and be an active alumnus. At this time, I'd like to recognize the graduates that have been selected to receive an honorary lifetime membership into the Alumni Association. This is a $400 value. The award is based on a variety of criteria, including campus activities, leadership, community involvement, professional development and employment, academic excellence, and the probability of future involvement in the Alumni Association. For this semester, we have selected 4 individuals as recipients. One is graduating this morning. Ross Johnson, please stand. Ross is a biology major. Ross is a biology major from Appleton, Wisconsin. Congratulations, Ross, and congratulations to all the graduates this morning. As you start your next chapter in life, take pride in the degree you received today. We are proud to call you alumni of UW-Platteville.
Chancellor Dennis J. Shields is in his 6th year at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. During that time, he has guided the campus through tremendous growth in programs, resources, and facilities. By using innovative public-private methods, he led the construction of Roundtree Commons and Bridgeway Commons, ensuring that all freshmen and sophomores remain engaged in campus life through residential living. We know through the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning that students who stay on campus in residence halls are much more likely to be successful, persist, and ultimately graduate. So the construction of these 2 halls that allow room for our freshmen and sophomores were crucial to our students' success. Chancellor Shields has spent much of the past 2 years dealing with the state budget process and its implications, remaining committed to the core mission of providing an affordable and an accessible education. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chancellor Dennis J. Shields.
Thank you, Dr. Den-Herter. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Graduates, I'm pleased to welcome you to today's ceremony, marking the almost end of your collegiate journey. We are proud that you chose the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, and even more pleased at your success in completing the requirements necessary to say that you are a graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Congratulations. We are very proud of you. Parents and honored guests, this day would not likely have been possible without your support and your belief that these students would reach this milestone that we celebrate today. We thank you and congratulate you also. To the faculty and to the staff, many of whom are seated here in front, thank you for your long hours in the classroom and advising students. Every student here can name one of you who made the difference and made it possible for them to be successful. You have my heartfelt thanks for the hard work that you do that contributes to the success of the university and in particular these graduates today. Thank you. To our graduates, I imagine I'm not going to be the last person who tries to offer you a little advice today. I will try to be brief. When you walk across this stage in a short time, you will in fact receive a blank diploma cover. It is a symbolic measure as we wait for final grades, finals are next week, folks, and the certification from our registrar that you have in fact completed the requirements necessary for your degree. It is also a fitting metaphor as your University of Wisconsin-Platteville education does not really end today. When you walk across the stage today, you become a part of the Pioneer family, and as pioneers, you are ready for your careers and the challenges of the changing and evolving world of which you are a part. This university provided you the framework for future success. And like the diploma cover, it is up to you to continually fill that frame. Now, your education at this university has prepared you with specific discipline-specific skills, but also some other traits that are necessary to be successful. I'd like to talk about 3 of them today: self-awareness, self-reflection, and leadership. So what is self-awareness? Self-awareness is a clear perception of who you are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses might be, what beliefs guide you, and what your motivations are. Now, if you'll recall your first few days here, you went through a convocation where myself and Vice President Den-Herter told you that this university would challenge you, would challenge your beliefs in the classroom, in the residence halls, in outside activities, and all across the campus. The purpose of this challenge was not to change your views, but provide information and insight to you about differing viewpoints, to assist you in understanding yourself and to give you a greater understanding of others. Likewise, you learn about the way other people perceive and treat you. Second trait is self-reflection. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines it as a careful thought about your behavior and belief. Confucius said it this way: there are three methods to gaining wisdom. The first is reflection, which is the highest. The second is imitation, which is easiest. And the third is experience, which is the bitterest. Self-reflection focuses on life goals, behavior, and state of mind. You should engage in worthy activities, use your talents to the maximum, and control your own destiny. This is, or all things you should gain from self-reflection. The third trait is leadership, which I hope is the most significant thing you take with you as you leave this university. And leadership is the ability to influence and shape the world around you, including your community, your family, your friends, and your professional space. You demonstrate your leadership in three areas. The first is personal. Leadership is not about the position you hold, it's about the person you are. Advice from the Center of Effective Policy says good leaders focus on the future and prioritize work. That good leaders have a willingness to listen and learn. That good leaders put their egos aside and develop partnerships and opportunities to collaborate. And good leaders have a passion for their work and display positive attitudes. And finally, that good leaders act honorably and build trust. The second area of leadership is career. It's about understanding the environment that you work in, whether it's professional, personal, or in your community. Good leaders learn what the needs are, and then understand the role that you can play in your business, in your community, or in your family that will help any one of those entities be successful. I think one of the most important things that you need to understand about leadership is that it's not always about you. It's about the organization or the entity achieving its goal. Good leaders treat people with respect. Good leaders build consensus. And good leaders make educated and creative decisions. The third area in which you can demonstrate leadership is in your community. See the big picture. Become global citizens. The different students with whom you have interacted here on this campus and the wonderful faculty who've brought a myriad of experiences to you help you build the context for this view of a global community. While yes, we are in Southwest Wisconsin, you are going out into a world where you will interact with people from all over the globe, from China, from Japan, from Brazil, and from Europe. Very few of you, if any, will go into an environment where you don't need a global awareness and perspective. You have to learn every day what is important in the world and that the world is changing very quickly. The work you do now and how you deliver it is going to require you to adapt. So you must be a lifelong learner. Let me conclude. The University of Wisconsin has given you the framework for lifelong learning and ultimately success. It is up to you to fill that frame, just as your diploma will soon fill that frame that you display in your office or home. That diploma will tell everyone that you are a University of Wisconsin graduate. It is my fervent hope and wish that people will be able to tell that you are a pioneer by how well you become leaders in your personal life, in your career, and in your community. Because you are a member of the Pioneer family, we will always be here for you. In return, we ask that you continue to remain close to us, that you come back and visit us, especially at homecoming, that you will recommend future students to us, or answer the phone when students call for the phone-a-thon. Congratulations on entering this new chapter of your University of Wisconsin-Platteville career, and congratulations on becoming an alum. I reiterate how proud I am of each of you and how certain I am of your success. May you continue to make this and every day a great day to be a pioneer. Thank you.
Now, will all of the individuals who are about to receive bachelor's and graduate degrees please stand? That's all of you. Chancellor Shields, as provost and as directed by the university faculty, I certify that the individuals standing before you are candidates for the degrees of Master of Science in Education, Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, and upon completion of the prescribed curricula, are entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Provost and Vice Chancellor, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree that you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges attending thereto. Congratulations.
And now, graduates, please take your tassel and move it from the right to the left on your mortar board, not your motorboard, your mortar board, signifying you as a graduate. Congratulations. You may be seated. Registrar David Keycaper will read the names of the candidates, and at this time I ask Dr. Wayne Weber, Dean of the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture please stand? Chancellor Shields and Provost Denherter, as Dean of the College, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science in the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture. Candidates, please be seated. Now would the candidates from the College of BILSA please begin coming forward.
Ariel C. Hillenbrand. Callie Jo Kiesel. Ross C. Johnson. Amelia M. Abraham. Lauren M. Adams. Dusty Lane Adamson. Benjamin J. Babcock. Garrett Lee Badkey. Chelsea May Barnaby. Justin D.L. Berry. Joseph R. Baumler. Morgan Ann Baxter. Eric Charles Bell. Melina E. Bennon. Emily T. Bizzoni. Wade S. Black. Bryce W. Blackburn. Benjamin H. Babel. Alyssa Anna Brandt. Dominique Joy Breinig. Andrea Ann Brocker. Rebecca D. Brown. Morgan Michelle Buddy. James M. Burton. Thomas Paul Bussey. Daniel P. Carmignani. Adam Childs. Samantha Elizabeth Christensen. Roger C. Coleman, Jr. David J. Condon. Zachary James Coons. Jacob Jean Dom. Desiree C. Danner. Danielle May Deneau. Brian John Diedericks. Bradley Dorney Dermott. Mattia Durica. Dianelle Baya Urad. Keith Bradley Folkers. Rachel Lynn Forbes. Crystal May Francis. Ryan Shane Geisbuehler. Eric R. Gizicki. Andrew W. Gimler. Abigail Marie Gunner. Matthew M. Grayus. Catherine Ann Grimm. Wesley Adam Halverson. Tig Rory Hanley. Colleen Carol Hartog. Matthew Hatfield. Alan M. Harritz. Alex R. Holdorf. Aaron N. Holmes. Michaela Lee Horseman. Shannon Marie Hughes. Mackenzie Lee Joel. Nathaniel Thomas Johnston. Krista E. Jonitz. James P. Kasang. Kendall R. Kendrick. Heidi Jean Claus. Eric P. Cook. Kelly Catherine Kowal. Cassandra Nicole Krull. Eric S. Kulas. Paul Joseph Kulashevich. Amber L. Kurtelmeyer. Alex Michael Larson. Stephen J. Lee. Michael A. Leslie. Brandon David Lewis. Mark Edgar Lichtenberg. Ashley A. Meyer. Trevor J. Mann. Savannah S. Manning. Jared Mitchell Mansky. Zachary T. Manvilla. Matthew Stephen Martin. Claire Helen May. Bethany McLean. Jeremy Dean McManus. McKenna Michael Meyer. Thomas R. Miles. Brianna Claire Miller. Gerald James Moore. Emily A. Moran. Katie Michelle Morsi. Chufu S. Moa. Arrington Jessa Moole. Michael James Murphy. Bradley R. Murray. Adam J. Neal. Morgan Aylin Nelson. Ellery S. Nemitz. Sarah A. Newquist. Zachary C. Knoll. Lucas John Oliver. Hillary Lee Oosterhoff. Alexandria M. Panzica. Jared Joseph Paulson. Allison Elaine Reese. Stephanie K. Roberts. Christy Lynn Rogers. Lance J. Rowan. Mitchell B. Rosenloff. Bradley Paul Sandine. Barrett Paul Sanderson. Gabrielle C. Schoaf. Ryan Leo Schoaf. Bailey K. Shep. Austin M. Schmidt.
Good job, Austin.
Paul Ruben Schneller. Nicole A. Schaefernacker. Emma K. Schultz. Matthew J. Schumacher. John August Shute. Brina Joe Smithson. Connor Joseph Sculmo. Samuel Bernard Smith. Dalton J. Summers. Adam Arthur Sondgroff. Michelle Grace Speck. Alexander E. Speidel. Heather M. Squire. Kelsey R. Steffenhagen. Allison Rose Strohmeyer. Janine M. Supanich. Matthew Douglas Taylor. Kevin T. Toom. Caitlin Elisa Thompson. Jordan John Teets. Gregory E. Tremeling. Michael Ray Tratick. Alexander Powell Trollope. Austin R. Underdahl. Todd Allen Valley. Tyler John Vorpal. Jessica E. Wagner. Zachary M. Wallace. Anthony W. Wire. Jacqueline M. Westfall. Brianna K. Wethel. Shanna Michelle Wedelson. Zachary John Whitebread. Nolan Glenn Wilharm. Brady T. Williams. Molly C. Williams. Jeremy Michael Williamson. Santana L. Wilson. Brant Taylor Wilterdink. Jennifer Ray Young. Ashley E. Zastro. Amy Sue Zaywin. Tenzin Sennor.
Graduates, on behalf of the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, congratulations.
You may be seated. I ask Dr. Dominic Veraclaw, Director of the School of Graduate Studies, to come forward.
Where are they? Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education please stand? Chancellor Shields and Provost Den Herder, as Director of the School of Graduate Studies, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Masters of Science and Master of Science in Education. You may be seated. And now, master degree candidates, please begin coming forward to receive your hoods. I read what's written.
And just a word of instruction, you're supposed to face the audience when you're here to be hooded, and there's a neat little thing on the floor to show you where you're supposed to stand.
Randy P. Bellisle. Mary Jo Black. Trisha Buxton. Jessie Lynn Cunningham. Lucas Robert Dock. Sherry M. Doran. Mary Ann Erpenbach. Joseph Richard Gauze. Emmanuel Gunther. Amy Gunn. Syed S. Hassan. Crystal Rose Hines. Holly Mary Gladys Hush. Travis J. Kukuski. Amanda Marie Kane. Kenneth R. Micah. Patrick D. O'Connor. Michael Richard Nicholson. Nathan Oleg. Donald L.N. Reynolds. Kenneth Riley. Andrew A. Pazelt. Kelly L. Robles-Daza. Eric Kurt Sager. Shanna Schumacher. Jill Schumann. Shane R. Swart. Anne Lovell Trausch. Brian A. Van Osdale. La Van Presert. Christopher Weslowski. Blake T. Zernicki. Tiffany L. Ziegler. Kenneth Anthony Campbell.
Graduate students, you may be seated. As you might guess, putting together this ceremony takes considerable work, much of it behind the scenes. Thank you to the following people: senior staff, some of whom are seated here on stage, Commencement Committee led by Dr. Joanne Wilson and Dr. Lenita Lamanovic, Commencement Marshal Deborah Putnam, Assistant Director Emerita Dining Services, Registrar David Keykafer, who read the names, student ambassadors who served as ushers, the University of Wisconsin-Platteville Symphonic Wind Band led by Barry Ellis for the music this morning, Media Technology Services, and the Division of External Relations. For all those just mentioned who helped with the production of today's ceremony, I ask that all of you rise and be recognized. Sitting in front of the stage is a group who has taught, advised, and so much more for you, the graduates. I fear that they are, I don't fear this, I know that in these times they are undercompensated and don't receive as much respect as they should, but they have a passion for what they do, and they are committed to you, the students. So would the faculty and instructional academic staff please rise and turn toward the graduates so they may give you a round of applause. Thank you for all the work that you do. Now, none of this would have been possible without this last group, who has helped our graduates throughout their collegiate careers and indeed throughout their entire lives. So would the families and friends of the 2015 graduates please stand and be recognized by them. Now, please turn to page 36 of the commencement program for the alma mater, led again, and this is the wrong name, but led again by one of our very wonderful music students. Okay. Please stand. Please be seated. These commencement ceremonies have been recorded and are available for on-demand viewing on the campus website. I ask that everyone please remain seated until the faculty has left the gymnasium. The flags representing all the countries from which our students hail are displayed in the main lobby for photographs, as are the college banners. At this point, the ceremony is concluded, and I may be the first to congratulate this first sesquicentennial graduating class, University of Wisconsin-Platteville, fall of 2015.
Alumni room. A couple ways to go. Probably the easiest thing for you to do is go back out this way. Go to your right. Go down the hallway. Then you'll see some stairs. There'll be a sign, small sign. And up on the second floor. And there's a sign up there that says Alumni room. You can hang out there for a while and eat a little bit. Take your food with you, whatever you like to do. Please, go get your bag. Go get your lunch. For you, we're playing. Good luck to everybody on your exams and your juries, etc. If you just leave the music on the stand, we'll have it ready for the second ceremony.